Good to see you, everyone. And today, I think I'm going to be talking about Romans 12:19 to 21. But before I think we proceed there in our study, I just want you to ask something. I just want to ask a question. And the question is this: is paying good for good, you think, already good in the sight of God? That's I think, our topic for today. Is paying good for good already good in the sight of God? That's the second. I just repeat the question for you to focus on what really trying to say. Okay, now we go to the text, Romans. This one is Romans 12, up there, 12, 19. Chinese, Tagalog, and English. Let me read first in Tagalog because that's what is go there first, okay? Huwag kayong manghigantihan, mga iniibig, kundi bigyan ninyong daan ang galit ng Diyos. Sapagkat nasusulat, akin ang paghiganti, ako ang gaganti, sabi ng Panginoon. Tungkol doon sa mga masama. Now, 20, kaya't kung ang inyong kaaway ay magutom, pakanin mo. Kung siya ay mauhaw, painumin mo. Sapagkat sa paggawa mo ng gayon, ay mga baga ng apoy ang ibubunton mo sa kanyang ulo. Oh, napakalalim, ano? Magbabagang apoy. Talk about that in English and Chinese later. Continue, 21. Huwag kang padaig sa masama, kundi bagkus daigin mo ng mabuti ang masama. In English. Okay, only 19. Yeah. Okay. Dearly beloved, avenge not yourselves, but rather give place unto the wrath. For it is written, vengeance is mine, I will repay, saith the Lord. Therefore, if thine enemy hunger, feed him. If he thirst, give him drink. For in so doing, thou shalt heap coals on fire on his head. Then continue, 21. Be not overcome of evil, but overcome evil with good. I think this is what we are trying to discuss later. Heap coals on someone's head. Okay, let's go to Chinese. How to read it in Chinese. At least Chinese people can already there understand there. They follow me. Here, pin in. Where are you? Quick. Chinese pin in. ABC, Chinese pin in. Chinese pin in is the way how you pronounce in Chinese. Like that. Same. Now, 19. So this is how you read that Chinese. Oh, really? Qǐng? That's supposed to sin da. Sin. Eh? How come? The xiong ti. I thought that one is I. Never mind. So many things in Chinese, you know. You see? Or maybe somewhere here. It says, Qǐng chuan da dìxiōng, 不要自制. I don't know if my pronunciation is correct. 上言南卡让布，丁平çoğunu nu 或做让人反怒，因为经上记着就说上 I think that one is God. 愿在我，对 I think that one is God. Vengeance is mine. 在我 is me. 我必报应 or I don't know, maybe something like that. 所以 therefore 你的就你若饿了就给他吃。哦，那 give him food 吃饭。若渴了就给他喝，给他饮料 something to drink. This one 给他喝 is drink. 因为被这样心就是把 pa tan ho tuay chai tada to sang head to up sang to sang. Ni pu ka wei so sang fan yao isan ishan shang So that's what it means there. Be not overcome by evil. I don't know if this is the problem with Chinese, If you don't get it, if know this word, and you only rely upon your talk, they don't know what exactly your talk is, especially because of tone. So since I'm still learning Chinese, how to pronounce, because the hard thing is tone. If you got the wrong tone, you got the wrong meaning. But it's a good thing that TV is this one available. So that's what it is. So we go back to, since you already know, we go back to our Tagalog. At least Tagalog there, also available. Tagalog, go back to Tagalog. I like Tagalog, also. It helps me understand more what exactly trying to say. Where's Tagalog? QRST. Tagalog. T. There, Tagalog. Filipino. National language, Tagalog. Yeah. It's easy, Filipino, because we use ABCD. I think pronunciation from Japanese, abakada. Something like that. So, wag kayong magagantian, that is revenge. Vengeance. Vengeance is mine. Avenge not yourselves. So, today, that's what I'm talking. Actually, while I'm meditating something in my province before, because I live in Iloilo City, Central, in an island where there is no transportation there except buffalo, and gasoline boat going to somewhere, something like that. But that's not my point. My point is, what does this mean? Heap coals from someone's head. Thou shalt heap coals. I don't know in Chinese. Sapagkat sa paggawa mo siya, I think this one, 就是这个 ho zai tada. I don't know. I forgot already that. Ho zai tada to head sang. Yeah, something like that. Heaping coals of fire, someone said. Before I go there, I'm thinking maybe that's one is like like you go to, how to say that, because in Taiwan there's a lot of steam. Yeah, like a spa, a little bit hot, but but at least you enjoy it, and it's good for body. I don't know. I don't know yet, but what that exactly mean, when I check the Google dictionary, what they say about that is this one. That's in Chinese. I mark that. And in Tagalog, baga ng apoy ang ibubunton mo sa kanya. And here we are in English. Heap coals on his head. What that is mean is to repay evil with good in order to make someone feel guilty of their sin against you or against anyone, but mostly against you, because the talking there, it's you against those people who doing injustice to you. So how you deal injustice? And last time, actually, when I used to read the Bread of Life, they have there. I like that, I don't know if I can find that in Taiwan. Very simple, simple truth and simple illustration. Bible verse, one verse. It says there, because he also talked about vengeance. I think I teach this. I teach this before in Bible school, and after that, my classmate told me, say thank you for. He thanked me for teaching me how to say that, the attitude, good manners and character, right conduct. I think I still can remember his name is Binoni from Cebu. Cebuana, Binoni, classmate in Bible school. So that's what I think there, because I said there, we talk about this also, Romans 12. Romans 12, 9, 10, not to avenge yourself. Because most of the time, when we are quick to fight as Christian, We already forgotten what God's will is. We already forgotten the way of God and Jesus, you know, because it says there, uh, once we quick to fight, Jesus is put aside. So that's usually what happens if we are quick to fight. It's not really fighting, you know. I mean, to confront or to address the situation. Just like in my last time, in my accident, I'm not really trying to make vengeance there. I just confront people for their, you know, confronting them for what they have done. Because at that time, I know I am right and I'm doing that. Also, that's also doing good to them. Just trying to be responsible to them is just a little bit harsh to me because that's what is in my mind. I said, already your faults, and then you don't want to say sorry. I will not force you, but I will warn you that that is not good for you. That, including there, a warning there. So, so that's also doing good, and I'm happy. You know, I'm happy that I am done that to the police station, to the driver, irresponsible driver. I'm not really asking money from them. You know, actually, if the driver who hit me only say sorry to me because he didn't saw me, I think there's no discussion that even I want to go to police, you know, not even talk about that because that's purely accident. What is not accident there is that you already know it's your faults, and then you still don't want to admit it, and that is not good for you. But here is also the same another way of that's one way of dealing with people opposing you. Here's another way. And as I think about this morning, one example to that in my province, Iloilo Estancia, somewhere in the island, there is a man there in, I don't know, 19, somewhere in 1980, because I born 1970, and that time I am about maybe around 8 years old. There is a man there who go in their island there, try to sell the radio using the CD, you know, and that radio using battery and then CD. And when that man arrived in my grandparents' house, only me and my grandmother. Then I don't know where's my grandfather. He tried to offer that. I think I still can remember how much he tried to offer those radio. You know, I think 150 pesos at that time. Very very cheap. You know, I think talking about Taiwan dollar, maybe less than 100 NT dollar. You know. Very very cheap in that time is I don't know how many years already, maybe 2 to 3 decades already, something like that. So I don't know what they talk of my grandmother and her, but they end up that seems that they are unable. I think my grandmother also liked the radio because that's first time in our there, you know, and he also like to have that. It's just not. No, I don't know if pub station, but mostly like only CD. And then seems they didn't agree with each other to the price. Maybe my grandmother thinking it's too high and we can't afford. Maybe that's the problem. We can't afford. My grandmother can't afford 150. So the man left, but I think 8 meters, maybe 7 steps away when the man left. I don't know, but no. Before the man left, because seems they didn't agree with each other the price. My grandmother and that man. What my grandmother do is got some chicken egg, because we have a lot, you know, in our province, you know. I don't know how many, probably 12, more than 12 pieces, something like that. I can tell to the size, you know, to the size of white plastic bag that my grandmother put it. So probably that probably at least 12 more or less. He gave it to the man. And then when the man left, 7 steps away from us, when he turned his back, he suddenly returned. And you know what? He gave the radio to my grandmother. I say, it's okay, give to you. I don't know. Maybe my grandmother give 100 or maybe it's become free. I don't know that time. But I know what I know. The price is 150 and we cannot afford to pay. But it ended up that he gave to me the radio. And he take the egg. Maybe he's thinking, I carry now 2 things. So which one I want to carry? So he give the radio and carry the egg. So that's the point. My point is the last minute generosity of my grandmother. So I think the same is true. When we know when our heart in tune to God and we think nothing but only for the good of others, it's not really hard to find the good things to do to them. And that's what actually I don't think that my grandmother tried to negotiate with the man. I think because that's my grandmother. We grew up in a generous environment in a way that like we have pity on you. I don't care who you are. It's just because we think that you are so poor. Maybe my grandmother thinking this man is the whole day walking around there in the island there. I don't know how big that is island. Maybe 6 kilometers square miles or 10 kilometers square miles to walking there and nobody get his radio. Therefore, he has no money. Maybe my grandmother is thinking, "Oh, I feel sorry. I want to buy that, but I can't. I can't afford. So I want to help you. It somehow give you some egg. So at least you have radio, you have egg." But it turned out to be that he surrendered his radio to us, and we've been using that. And my cousin actually knows that. I always play that CD, and that's I learned singing there Tagalog, which I don't even know what its meaning, like the English born to be alive. I was born to be alive. That's the English there that I'm playing there. And when I'm singing that, my cousin, I think Bimbo Juarez, that time he is still very small, he dancing there. I can see half kilometer or 1 kilometer away from us because there no other sound, so you can hear anything almost even 1 kilometer away from you or maybe something like that. So that's the thing. Last minute goodness. So my grandmother only thinking that, well, he's a poor guy and nobody buy his product. So my mother gets some egg, give to him, and then when he ate steps away from us, probably because I can count the distance, he turned his back and I give up the radio, give to us and bring the egg. I don't know if my mother gave the the money. I'm not sure. Probably not, since I didn't saw my mother, my grandmother take the money. Maybe later, I don't know. Maybe my grandmother give him more egg because we have a lot, even chicken. Something like that, and also fish, something like that. Because most in our island, sometimes my grandfather, we spend gasoline to that, and sometimes the fish that we get, the sardines, is only enough for not really to make business, but only enough for everyone. And sometimes only few. We thinking ourselves, but there are a lot of people also there waiting. What can you do? So if you get 10 sardines, you have to divide that. How many family there is waiting? If 10, then we will have only 1 sardines each. Something like that, depending on on the number of the people or family that as they're in the shore waiting for if something they can at least they can have fish in their rice. But rice, of course, we always have rice. So this is it. I think I've been too long already. So that's the way, putting heap coals on someone's head, like doing good things, despite the evil that they do, so that in somehow they can realize. I think my grandmother didn't really think about that. My grandmother only think about doing good things. He doesn't care. She doesn't care if if the man will give us the radio. It's just my grandmother only acting to what she think is good for that man. So that's we end up there. So I think that's the way also we have to deal. Last minute generosity or goodness. You never know. At least you don't give to expect something in return like that have string attached. When you give, you really give because you know that man needed it, and based upon your pity, maybe you can call that love, but I think pity, something like that, because that man already very tired, and no one bought his radio. So my grandmother thinking, oh, you poor guy, okay, give this egg to you, so at least you can enjoy your journey home, something like that. That's all so far. Thank you, and may God bless you. It says here, let me read again. Be not overcome evil, but be not overcome of evil, but overcome evil with good. This one, yeah, something like that. Huwag kang padaig sa masama, kundi bagkos daigin mo ng mabuti ang masama. So, and let alone God bless that doing of us. Thank you.